Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Marvel Strike Force. Now, I know later on today is going to be an exciting time to know the full extent of Blast Star. That's going to be coming at 11 a.m. Pacific time. There's going to be a strike spot to watch. And I'm sure there will be some time to do some reviews of it if there's anything interesting there. But today I have some really exciting news for you. Lots of data mines that have just came out. Some things we need to talk about with regards to some diamonds that are going to be coming out for Mephisto, Ares, and Captain Britain. No, not Odin. I just kind of wanted to space my characters a little bit into the center. Also, we have some kind of scopely fibs when it comes to the Fantastic Four Tower that's going to be starting, the Baxter Tower that's going to be starting on Thursday. So I think this is an important public service announcement so people understand who you're actually going to need to use for this, because there's more than just the Fantastic Four MCU. But before we get started with the video, I want to give a special shout out to the sponsor of today's video. Hey everybody, today's video is sponsored by Kabam's Marvel Contest of Champions. Now, you've probably seen this game before, but if you haven't, Marvel Contest of Champions does combine some really great RPG elements with in-depth fighting game action. Whether you're a casual brawler or a hardcore strategist, there's something for everyone in this game. And of course, who wouldn't want to play a Marvel fighting game with the huge range of heroes and villains that are available to play with, and seeing some of your favorite characters go toe-to-toe in battle. And there's always new characters being added all the time, so if yours isn't here yet, it probably will be soon. Now, Marvel Contest of Champions is also now releasing a brand new game mode, Squad Builder, a limited time event running now until August 6th. And what is this? Well, it's a brand new quest type that's going to give you tons of maxed out champions for free to put everyone on the same playing field, and all that matters is skill. So, this is super exciting and something that they've never done before. And Marvel Contest of Champions is also doing a Fantastic Four special event that you're not going to want to miss if you want to get your hands on some free rewards. If you log in for 7 days between now and August 15th, you'll get yourself some fantastic champions just for showing up. So what are you waiting for? Support the channel and download now using the link in the description down below or in the pinned comments to play on mobile or on PC crossplay, whichever suits you best. I'll see you there. Alright, we're going to start here, and this was the Fantastic Force blog post where they released all the stuff related to that. So I want to talk about the Baxter Building Tower, right? There's going to be two of them, the easy mode basically, and then the harder one, Omega. And they talk about how basically Fantastic Four characters are required for each tower. And while yes, you can use them, it is not required to only use Fantastic Four or Fantastic Four MCU. There's actually other traits that you can use in both of the towers, which I don't like the fact that they didn't really include this information. I think because they obviously wanted you to buy, any of the existing characters, and of course Franklin Richards, who's going to be coming out tomorrow. Now, they're probably going to be the best ones to use, but keep in mind that, none of them are really free-to-play available except for Invisible Woman, who is going to be, I guess she's in the Intel store, right? And you can also have that event, which is going to be coming on later this week, but you're not going to have the full team free-to-play available, which means that, yes, they had to have other, well, they didn't have to, but they do have other free-to-play options, which we're going to talk about because that was in the data mines. And I do want to give a special shout out to Bo's Gorilla. I mean, sometimes he saves me some time by finding these data mines before I do when I wake up. And so this just helps me from having to spend my time digging through the files. So this is going to be starting tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific, right? This is going to be basically when Franklin Richards comes out. And so you can core for him and use the full 5 Fantastic Four MCU. And that's probably going to be more than fine. It's just that for people who do not have that. We're also going to talk a little bit about the Danger Room, which is also going to be tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific. There's some interesting mods for this coming up. So let's just jump on over to the data mines and check things out. Actually, before we do that really quick, I did want to kind of point out that if you actually click the I button on the tower, it does say, bring in the Fantastic Four MCU team or other teams and battle to the top of this more challenging tower. They say it on this one as well, I believe. But the thing is that they didn't really say that in the blog. And so for a lot of people who do just kind of primarily read the blogs, they might not have known that there are, and it actually doesn't tell you what the other teams are, but we're going to talk about that. Okay, so we have quite a few data mines here. I also want to bring up this. What is this? This is Annihilus Bug. There's a bug minion for Annihilus. It's also the T-pose for Blast Star, which we'll probably see later on today, honestly, in the strike spot. But we're going to be fighting Annihilus and the Annihilus bug minions in the tower. So this is floors 1 through 10 tower mode normal. Now, this is going to be like the easy mode, right? And so at the very end of this, which is not actually included, it's more included in this one here, there's going to be a node, and this is node number 10, or the final node of the easy tower, where you see a bunch of these minions, an Annihilus bug over and over and over again. And then at the very bottom, PvE Annihilus Tower. So this is going to be a specific enemy version of Annihilus that we're going to be fighting. If you guys followed my other videos, then you would know that there's basically avatar icons and ability icons for Annihilus. There is also assets for the Annihilus bug minion. Is this going to be something that he's going to summon when he comes out? I don't know. This could be kind of like those vampire minions where they're just doing like special event enemies, which we might see later on throughout the age of Annihilus. This stuff is going to be pretty easy though, so like this is just kind of story mode-ish stuff. But one thing that I do want to point out is obviously the arena, this stuff here, the arena text for the tower is active. So obviously Fantastic Four MCU are going to be the best characters that you're going to want to use for this, but that's not primarily, or that's not the only teams that you can use. We'll talk about this later on down here. So I want to talk about floors 11 through 20, or AKA Tower Mode Omega 1 through 10, I guess, on Omega. So you can see some of the enemies here. You can pause it if you want to take a look at it. But basically what I want to look at is the last couple of floors here, namely 20 and 21 here, the nodes, or in this case, it's nodes 9 and 10 of the Omega Tower. We have some Orcus characters here. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, right? But the final floor has Annihilator, so Silver Surfer, Gladiator, Thanos Endgame, Ultimus Gore, Sasquatch, and Black Knight. And arena text is active for both sides, right? Both for you and the enemy. So I think given some of the other traits, this might be hard if you're not using the Fantastic Four MCU. I think a lot of these other nodes are probably due. There is a Venom, there's a Gore here, right? But I think by and large, a lot of these other nodes will be clearable without using the Fantastic Four. Now, what are those other requirements? Well, there's Fantastic Four. Apparently, you can use Fantastic Four regular. You can use Fantastic Four MCU. You can also use Thunderbolts. So this is another big one. And I think there's some others down below as well, which we'll take a look at. I think you can also use Quasar. I believe that he might be available in the tower too. But at the very least, we have the whole Thunderbolts team, which are available instead of using the Fantastic Four MCU. But of course, they do not have arena buffs. Some of the other requirements, which I think were known, but if in case it wasn't, this is for the Omega Tower. And this is, the difficulty is essentially the requirements, which is going to be ISO. So you're going to have all the way up to, I believe it might not be shown here very well, but it is going to be purple ISO 3. So do keep that in mind. And also nodes 9 and 10 of the Omega Tower, the Annihilator's node, does scale up to Gear 19, level 105. So you can see some of the other things here. This is basically what it shows. Fantastic Four MCU, Thunderbolts. This is how it looks like in the data mines files. So the Omega Tower basically has restrictions of Fantastic Four, F4 MCU, and Thunderbolts. I believe that you can also do this. I believe this is the same as the Baby Tower, but I mean, it's going to be really easy. The new. Also, I actually wanted to just really quickly. I did kind of want to go over this because the tower. A lot of people are wondering what this unstable cells are eventually going to be used for. And it does say that it's going to be used at the end of the Harbinger season. We're going to talk about that later on because there are data mines about orbs that you're going to be able to open to use the unstable cells. So all of this is going to be worth doing and going to be valid. You know, even the Omega, it doesn't seem like a lot, but I don't know how much it's going to cost per orb. But there is going to be some good stuff that you're going to be able to use this on that is going to be valid pretty soon. Maybe as early as next week that it's going to pop up. Because if the data mines are showing up now, then that probably means that they're not long before they come out. It could be next week, it could be, or the beginning of the week after. So between 7 and 10 days is usually what the data mines show us. So let's jump back on back. And we have some new mod cards for the Fantastic Four Danger Room. There's a few interesting ones. These ones, you can pause this. There's quite a few, so I'm not going to go through all of them. But there's some specific ones for characters that I think are interesting. We have Dad Bod for Mr. Fantastic. On ally turn, apply 1 charge to all Mr. Fantastic MCU allies with taunt, up to a max of 1. Happy Family. If Franklin Richards is an ally, Fantastic Four MCU allies gain plus 5% damage reduction per Fantastic Four MCU ally. So basically, you could get up to 25% damage reduction for the team, but you do have to have Franklin Richards on the team. I'm wondering if they're just going to allow it. We could probably just use rental characters, right? I'm pretty sure you could do that, even if you don't own them. Or do you have to own them to use the rental? I forget about that. And also the clone gains taunt. Oh, sorry, on ally basic, clone that ally. The clone gains taunt. Power rebalance on start damage the enemy with the highest damage for 99% health. This damage reduces the max health of the target by the same amount. Okay, that is kind of crazy, right? That could be really OP. Selective visibility. If invisible woman MCUs an ally on any turn, apply stealth to all enemies with taunt. So basically getting rid of it. Fantastic Force. Fantastic Four MCU allies gain 20% damage per offense up on that character, which would be big for like Human Torch, right? Because he gives that to everyone else. Too hot to handle. Damage done by Human Torch allies reduces the max health of targets by the same amount. Rock Solid Bishop. Thing allies on start gain offense up and 20% chance, a 20% assist chance, sorry, per ally. Council of Reeds. Non-summon Mr. Fantastic and Fantastic MCU allies gain 10% damage per F4 ally. And if both are allies on start, clone these characters. So if you have both the original Mr. Fantastic and MCU, so some really fun stuff here, and Doombot upgrades if Doctor Doom is an ally, summoned allies. So it looks like you're going to be able to use Doctor Doom during this as a character too. So that's kind of fun. Gain full speed bar upon being summoned. Gain safeguard and deathproof upon being summoned for the Doombots. There's a few other ones as well. There's like a zombie boon. When an enemy takes damage from bleed, mind control. So this is like a zombie Iron Man, right? They have this with other characters like Black Panther, boon, things like that. Flashbang on spawn, apply blind to all enemies. Uncle Doom's training. If Franklin's, Richards, and Doctor Doom are allies together, very nice nod. So I'm actually having fun with the Danger Room. Franklin Richards gains plus 100% resistance and focus and 30% damage, and Doctor Doom gains the Fantastic Four MCU trait. So that's a lot of fun. Obviously, arena bonuses will be active as well. Fantastic Friends, Mr. Fantastic, and Silver Surfer gain the F4 MCU trait, and stat increases. Doctor Doom gains stat increases. So these are things that you're probably going to be able to apply before the battle starts, like right before the run starts. So that's really fun. And the fact that you'll be able to use Doctor Doom, Silver Surfer, and other of the original F4, like the old non-new versions of them as well. Now, some other things that I want to mention is that Victoria Hand, Songbird, and Hyperion are going to be added. Actually, sorry, yeah, no, that's old. Sorry, Thunderbolts. No, we have Vigilantes Farmable. We're going to talk about that. And then we have the Super Skrull Heist coming back. This is quite important, and you're going to be able to gain a free 1 diamond Ares and 1 diamond Captain Britain. So you guys might remember the Super Skrull Heist. You just basically need to blitz or whatever with Super Skrull to get it, and then you get it for free. You basically get a 1 diamond, or maybe it says play raids to earn gear tier 18. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. So you just need to battle with Super Skrull, and you get the 1 diamond Ares and the 1 diamond Captain Britain for free. There is a new energy called transitional energy that's going to be coming soon, and this could, I don't know, some sort of showcase maybe between chapter 1 and 2. Maybe this is just a placeholder. I'm not sure. We have the Harbinger Assembly milestone coming back, and that's going to be giving some additional shards, right? A couple of freebie shards for Accursed, Vigilantes, and Thunderbolts, but otherwise it's one of those. The assemblies are one of those paid milestones where you buy stuff online. There's going to be a new Alliance milestone for August called the Cosmic Raid. Just the new name, right? It's going to be probably, my guess, 25 shards per character for, I don't know, the second. Who are we missing? It's probably going to be like Reed. It's going to be MCU Reed Richards, most likely. I would just take a guess. There's some offers for the Fantastic Four movie, for the Baxter Building, and Vigilantes Farmable. So Silver Sable is going to the War Store. Daredevil Modern is going to the Cosmic Crucible store, and Hitmonkey is replacing Havoc in the Spotlight Raid Orb, and eventually Hitmonkey is going to be going to the Arena store. It also says the Arena Orb, which I'm pretty sure is not available anymore, but there you go. And Havoc is moving into the Raid store and the Raid Orbs. Now, Ares, Captain Britain, and Mephisto Diamonds are going to be made available. So Mephisto and Captain Britain are going to be available with Dark Diamond credits. So you're going to get that free 1 diamond Captain Britain, but you can also buy the additional ones that you're missing for Mephisto and Captain Britain. And also same with Ares. If you want to use your silver diamond credits for that, you can upgrade Ares all the way up to 3 diamond. That's going to be available for those people who are big into PvP and are using these characters. There is going to be an Ally Supply 9 orb, and that's going to include fantastic diamond credits. And this is what I'm talking about just to end the video, is that there's going to be a whole slew of these unstable orbs. And that makes sense because it was unstable cells that we've been collecting, right? The name matches. So the Crimson Orb is going to include guaranteed gear tier 20. There's also one called the Reinforcing Orb, which is going to contain shards, for Mr. Fantastic MCU, Invisible Woman MCU, and more. It does not say Franklin Richards, but at least the other two. So if you want to spend it on that. And then the Resourceful Unstable Orb contains Dark Diamond credits, Dark Promo credits, Gold, and L4 trading modules. So there's going to be a lot of stuff for you to be able to spend your resources on later, right? I don't know if it's going to be next week or the week after, but it's going to be coming very soon. And there is some guaranteed gear 20, so that's going to really help push you in Xavier Saga if you just want to spend all of that there. So lots of things coming in the game coming next week. I wanted to share some of those things with you. This Baxter Tower is going to be available for 2 weeks, so do keep that in mind. Even if you don't clear it right away, right, because of the requirements, it does kind of favor F4 MCU, but you can use other characters, so don't fret. That at least some of this should be clearable, no problem, especially this Baxter building, the easy mode version. And I would say most of the Omega shouldn't be that bad either to be using your Thunderbolts. It's just like the last two nodes that I'm wondering whether or not you're going to need the F4 MCU to do that. So lots of stuff coming. Just wanted to give you a heads up for some of these things, and we'll see what ends up happening with Blastar later on today when that strike spot comes out. But that's going to be the end of this video, everyone. And don't forget to check out Marvel Contest of Champions in the link in the description down below. Otherwise, I'll see you guys all on the next video. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and you'll be greatly helping out the channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.